Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on The Casey Malone Show.
Today, it's all natural soaps and oils made by hand at Body Goodies. And if you're serious about coffee, you need Branch Street coffee. But first, it's a plane. It's Superman. No, it's Birdfish. Right here on Main Street in downtown Columbiana, you are going to find Birdfish Brewery. We've assembled most of the crew. Jared 1, Jared 2, and Greg. Josh could not be with us this evening. And I'm telling you, everyone is raving about the beer that you guys are making here. I mean, everybody loves it. And it's only available right here. Unless you bring home, what, a growler.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did this all start, you know, your passion for craft beer?
Yeah, so it was about 7 years ago, Jared's garage. We actually started in the kitchen on the stove, bought a beer kit, did that a couple times and with extract, and then got away from that, started doing all grain batches and just started buying equipment over the months and years, and got to a point to similar setup of what we have here on the commercial stage, but
in your garage?
Yeah, doing 12.5 gallon batches and hosting like home brew parties and people coming out and barbecuing and brewing, and then, you know, drinking the last brew days beers, and too many people are like, you guys got to do something with this, you know, especially Jared too. So,
Jared, I heard you have a very fine palate for craft beers. So if he says thumbs down, we toss it.
Yeah. But really, I mean, that was a lot of just years of research and development for us, because we saved every recipe that we ever did, and you know, we've got a stack of recipes like this from the homebrew days, and then just... I
mean, you wrote down like quantities, amount, what type, where you got the
grains,
everything.
And, additives and
stars to the one you really like.
Yeah.
Back from day one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, I mean, when did you become, I'm going to call it like a beer snob?
For me, it was, you know, back in college, it wasn't, well, I'd say sophomore year of college. Josh, who can't be here, he's the one that got me into it.
What was your first craft beer that you tasted? Sierra Nevada IPA.
And I'm like, oh
my
God,
husband.
I can't even down this. It was like terrible. And then I was like, yeah, try this. And it just, you start building that palate, and now IPAs are one of my favorite styles. So.
What about you? What was your, you know, aha moment with craft beer?
It was a similar story. Josh brought Sierra Nevada down.
Josh,
I think we were at the same party.
So I think
he's like, really good.
Yeah, I think it really, when he was down in Columbus, so that scene down there is how he got into it, and then he's like, you guys gotta, you know, get into this.
First hit's free.
Yeah, right.
After that, it's all on you guys. Yeah. What about you? What do you enjoy? Are you also an IPA?
I'm more into sours now.
This is great. Now, what is this called? The Peel.
So that's a Berliner Weiss, actually.
Oh,
that's,
okay.
We call that one the Blitz Weiss. This is the first time we brewed it, actually. But
Me like it.
Yeah, they're really like tart, just kind of sour. They're really refreshing in the summertime, which I really like.
Now, do you find like so seasonally?
Seasonal.
You won't make this in the winter.
We might.
Will you?
But
like
really small quantities, just here and there. And there's a lot, like, I'll make a lot more of that in the summertime. Wintertime we do stronger beers, stouts, just heavier bodied beers. Something that, you know, just kind of keeps you warm. And these beers, the sours, the IPAs, the wheats, those are all summers, just something to easy drinking, clean your palate.
Are those grains easier to get in the summer? Do you see that there's like the seasonal offerings that where you go to buy the ingredients?
Not necessarily the grains, it's the hops are more of a challenge to get, and specific hops. I mean, there's thousands of varieties of hops out there.
Do you grow your own?
We do. We're
Do you use them?
partners with Knucklehead Hop Farm out of Latonia.
Oh, really?
That we've got roughly
Love the name, Knucklehead.
70 plants in. We're putting another 250 plants in this year.
And how long does it take to harvest them from when you start growing them?
So typically the first 2 years are kind of just
like grapes
low,
almost.
Yeah, but then years like 3, 4, 5, 6, that's like your best harvest years for hops.
Birdfish. Tell me about the name and the logo, where it came from.
Yeah, so as we were home brewers, we actually had the name Birdfish Brewing Company as home brewers. And so being kind of central to Pittsburgh, and then, you know, with Youngstown State, the penguin is kind of
a birdfish.
Yeah, where our kind of mascot logo kind of came from, part of our logo. And you think of a penguin, it's kind of like a bird, kind of like a fish. So it was probably a drunken night. That's when it came up.
But it sounded really, no, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, so Josh, he you know, worked with the logo, and you know, our main logo's got 3 penguins for the 3 owners, and then the iceberg is a representation of where we're from, Ohio.
So who is going to be the eloquent one and toast? Birdfish.
So I am
He's the elegant guy.
Oh, okay.
You're elegant and eloquent.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Come on, Greg.
Yeah, so here's to Birdfish Brewing Company for the first 1.5 years of business, to many more years getting through this expansion project. So hopefully by the end of this year and rolling into 2018 to many more brews and many more enjoyable beers for everybody in the valley to taste. So,
Slanch up. Aye, aye. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
At R&S Paint, you get more than a can of paint. You get easy to apply, long-lasting Benjamin Moore color and a freshly painted look without the smell. Benjamin Moore is the leader in durability and value. Get more at R&S Paint, Youngstown, Poland Road.
Hey, Phil, you were not kidding when you said you were updating this patio. I love the furniture. I love the shade. I mean, this is going to be the best place to party all summer long.
Say hello, summer. And you know what? We want people to feel like they're on vacation when they come to the Magic Tree and hang out on our patio.
I mean, this really does have a great vibe, and I love this drink menu. I mean, for summer, the mermaid water, the creamsicle martini, and then you're gonna have the bands out here too.
Live music all summer long. We have our summer drink menu. Great food here, as you know. And, you know, put on your shorts, put on your flip-flops, and come on out and hang out with us.
That's right. Hey, and you know, you can't count on Mother Nature, but you can always count on the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Cheers!
Cheers, Casey.
Part of growing up in Youngstown is growing up with Rowley Brothers Markets. Even friends who have moved out of town come to shop and say hi when they're home for a visit.
And my family has always shopped at Rowley's, and today they are still my favorite grocery store. My recipes depend on the best ingredients, and that's why I get them at Rowley's, where you'll always find the freshest food at the best prices.
Rowley Brothers is a proud sponsor of the KC Malone Show. The quality that customers have come to expect is true local flavor.
$5 Burger Mondays at Sadie's Place, inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
Benjamin Moore paints and stains are the best you can buy, and R&S Paint is where you want to buy them. Your possibilities are endless because Benjamin Moore is an innovator in color technology. Our comfortable environment makes your color choice easy. R&S Paint, rnspaint.com.
This is Matt Campbell, and he is the owner of Branch Street Coffee Roasters. And over a year, you've been here in Boardman. And I mean, you want to talk about an enthusiastic coffee aficionado. You finally had to come into the business to feed your habit.
Yeah, I fell in love with coffee, my wife and I, about 5 or 6 years ago, and someone had, I was always a coffee drinker, and someone was telling us about this coffee place that we had to check out, and it was something that was in our mind, but we had never actually gone to visit. And he came into work one day and slid the coffee to me and said, "No, believe me, you have to try this coffee." And that's how it all started. I fell in love with the coffee and started to find out why that was so different than everything else I'd ever had before.
Well, I mean, now this is so interesting to me. Now, so was this coffee that enlightened you, the pour over?
It was a pour over method. It was made by a place called Rook in New Jersey, and they were new to the scene. They were roasting fresh coffee, and they would pour it for you, grind it for you right in front of you there, and that's really what was making the big difference. So I wanted to learn how to replicate that for coffee for myself.
And so at home, you and your wife started the pour over and getting, better beans and things like that.
Yeah, we realized that first and foremost it was the coffee. The quality of the coffee made a huge difference, and then making it fresh and grinding it fresh and doing little steps could really enhance the coffee experience. And the more we started to learn about it, the more it was like the rabbit hole, and we just kept getting deeper and deeper into it.
Prior to your revelation, what were you drinking? Like, what was your method of brewing? What kind of coffee were you purchasing?
We would pretty much just grab a scoop and put it into the home coffee pot, add water to it, and turn the switch on. Or if we were in a rush or just out and about, we would go through a drive-through line from any one of the big name stores that are out there that are in existence in every community.
And then, the Rook came in and changed your life.
It took 1 cup of coffee. Experiencing that huge difference in flavor turned it from a commodity, something that I was just getting every morning on my way to work, to something that I was savoring and really enjoying. So,
not everybody is a coffee fan. So I see that you have, many tea offerings. Are you as obsessive about your tea also?
We try to be. We've got several different types of tea. A lot of them are infused with different flavors. We have a tea importer, again out of New Jersey, who has been doing this for almost 50 years. His tea is exceptional. It's all loose leaf, so we have different ways that you can steep that tea at home, and most of the tea is such a high quality that you can steep it 2 or 3 times with the same dose of tea.
With the same, and you recommend the tea ball,
yep,
and then you fill that.
Or a French press, or they have special infusers you can use just for the tea. But when you're done steeping the tea, you can take it out, put it to the side, and then when you're ready for another cup, you can reuse that.
You are making sodas?
Yeah.
With the juice bar next door?
Yeah, the Orange Avocado opened up a little bit after we did, and they have such a tremendous product that we decided to come up with something that would be kind of a collaboration, and we came up with these sodas. We've got 4 or 5 different recipes for different kinds of soda, and between our 2 shops, we have kegs at both shops so you can fill up. We're going to be having growlers coming in next week.
Growlers? I mean, this pair is excellent.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
And then you would think that this was a Guinness, but it is not. Just like Guinness, this is nitrogen.
Yeah, it's nitrogenated coffee. So what we do is we cold brew the coffee, and then we'll put it into a keg, and instead of carbonating it, you put nitrogen in there, and the way it comes out of the stout tap, it really makes it creamy and almost sweet.
It's delicious. Now, when you say cold brew, what is different about that process?
Hot water never touches the coffee. It's instead of using hot water to do the extraction and pull out all the coffee flavor, it's time. So we put it in cool water at room temperature, and we just let it extract for anywhere from 18 to 24 hours, depending on the method that we're using. And when it comes out, it's a really rich, full-bodied, delicious coffee. We have a tower that lets 1 drop at a time go down into the coffee bed, and that helps to extract the flavor from a lot of our single origins. So the single origin coffee can have a lot of the same flavors that you'd get from the hot.
Now, so let's say you buy a whole bean, and okay, not from you, it's on a store shelf. So already that we know it's not super fresh, correct?
It's already been on that shelf for a couple weeks probably. And before that, it's left a warehouse where it's been stored before it's been ordered. And before that, it was inside of a giant roasting facility. So you can be talking for months.
So the integrity is already...
Yeah, it's already months down the road. That's the benefit of having this specialty coffee explosion, though. Most communities have a roaster nearby where they can go and pick up exceptional coffee. We're on the internet now too, so you can order it and it's packaged up the day that we roast it and shipped right out the door. So it's making it to your house within a couple of days of it being roasted. So you're already starting way ahead of the curve.
You opened this, it's been over a year.
Yeah.
And how has it been received?
It's been great. People really embrace the change. Just like with my first cup, a lot of people are getting their first experience of fresh roasted specialty coffee. It's not just that it's fresh roasted, we're getting a high grade of coffee. This is some of the best, like 5% of coffee in the world. And we're bringing it in, we're really careful about the way we roast it, we're really methodical about the way that we brew it, because we want to get that best flavor out of it. So as people are exposed to that and they start to experience it, it changes their habits too. Now they're looking for not necessarily a 60-ounce drink on their way to work, they're savoring the better quality, they're savoring the experience.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. You know, every personal injury case has its own unique circumstances. The best advice I can give to anybody who suffered an injury is please call a lawyer. Don't try to settle the case on your own. When you contact our office, you will talk to a lawyer. And we're not going to charge you for just walking in our door or giving us a call. In fact, we won't get a fee unless your case is successful. Personal attention is what our clients deserve. It's our #1 priority.
Hi everybody, I'm Danny, owner and operator of Cthulhu Prime Meats, a third-generation butcher shop that not only specializes in quality, but also in customer service and doing things in a new technological way. Chris here is our customer service manager. Chris, what do you think that we do differently than any other grocery store?
I think we personally not only offer great product, but we can offer a great customer service experience as well. We try and treat all our customers like they were family and friends, ask how their family's doing just so they can keep in touch, and give them that customer experience that they deserve.
And the nice part is we not only do that inside the store, but also on CthulhuPrimeMeats.com, where you can buy a lot of our products that we carry here, whether it be grass-fed beef, organic chicken, some of our specialty burgers and bacon. Those are wonderful, and we're going to provide that same customer experience online as we do in store.
Come see us in store or online. Make your next meal one to remember.
Four for $5 till 6. Happy hour at Sadie's Place inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
My mom was always in my corner.
Always pushing me to do better.
I couldn't have asked for a better mother.
So when she needed assisted living,
I did my research.
Doctors, nurses,
and others with family and assisted living,
they all said,
Trust the name you know.
Briarfield.
for assisted living with top healthcare experts, a caring staff, and a comfortable home-like setting.
Trust the name you know.
Briarfield.
Trust the name you know, Briarfield, proudly serving the Valley for over 20 years.
My dad, Stephen J. Kamara, opened a jewelry store in 1948. He sold high-quality jewelry at a fair price. We are keeping the family tradition alive. I'm Bob Kamara. Along with my children, Rob and Brianna, Kamara's has the largest selection of diamonds and engagement rings in our area. You can trust Kamara Jewelers to offer the best value and personal service. Kamara Jewelers, locally owned by the third-generation Kamara family and working on the fourth. Get real, get Kamara.
It's Simply Slavic, a celebration of the Valley's Slavic culture. Saturday, June 17th in downtown Youngstown. Presented by Wasco Family Funeral Group. Music, food, folk dancing, and more. Simply Slavic, noon till midnight, downtown Saturday, June 17th. Heidi Goldberg knows skin, and her soaps, balms, oils, and lotions are made from natural ingredients and are a treat for your body and your senses. Pamper yourself with the products at Body Goodies in Liberty. Well, it's been many years since I've been to Body Goodies, and every time I stop in, Heidi Goldberg, the owner, always has new additions, and you have expanded way beyond your mission of, you know, organic natural soap.
Right.
I mean, you have so many products now.
Yeah.
And I just love the success that
Thank
you have
you.
achieved with your business.
Thank you.
And for those not familiar with Body Goodies, Heidi, tell them how you got into this natural, organic products for the body.
It really started with a personal journey. I had a lot of issues with allergies and responses to things, and I was on a mission to create something that I could use. And then it became a business somehow, word of mouth, I guess, and it became something a lot of people can use with no issues, and people with issues even come here because they've heard about it, and we help them and make them better.
I mean, liquid hand soap. This stuff is incredible. Now, what made you go into this area?
You know, I was on a personal mission with that one too. It was just something that I hadn't done. I really didn't have a desire to do, but we had a lot of parents coming in that with children with eczema on their hands, and their soap they were using in their schools were bothering them. So we actually I was on a mission to create something they could take to school with them in a container that wasn't a bar of soap that they'd have messy sitting around. So I developed that. It is my formula, so it's basically my good soap in a liquid form.
And you know, this was one of your signature bars. I absolutely love
Low Tide.
Low Tide, and it's got the sand in it to exfoliate your feet so you are summer ready. And this is still probably one of your #1 sellers.
Yeah, always. People that work in any kind of industry where their hands get rough or dirty love it. Mechanics, painters, anything like that. But just every day, you know, the great thing about that bar is it's got the ability to exfoliate all this stuff off your hands, but it's such a well-made base that it still moisturizes your skin.
And these. You are going to die when you find out about what a scuzzball is. Now, I know a couple scuzzballs, but so please explain the scuzzball, because I'm going home with a scuzzball. That's so bad.
Things here just come to me because I'm on it. Like, I just get these weird whims, and I'm like, I just want a soap named Scuzzball. And then I'm like, Scuzzball, what could I do with a Scuzzball? So I actually smashed up bars of my soap, and on my benches in the back, I just lay out different piles of botanicals and scrubby things, and I'll just mash them in it and roll them up, and they're my little beloved Scuzzballs. So they're super scrubby. They're great for the hands and feet. You can use them on the body, but you just have to be aware that they do have scrubby things in them.
So like if you're gardening, I mean really for this time of year, this is good. If you're working outside a lot,
awesome.
I mean this is great to keep, you know, next to the sink.
And they're always different. We don't know, I mean it's my great soap rolled in things.
So it's a million different little soaps.
A million, yeah.
Now a lot of times Heidi is in her mad science laboratory making all of her soaps and her visions, and Michelle is very knowledgeable and will assist you. You've been here for a while.
I have, yes.
How did you come to find Body Goodies?
Well, I had my own skin issues, and Heidi happened to make a post on Facebook about opening a soap store. So I walk into her store thinking, I'm going to get this great chocolate smelling soap, something similar to Bath & Body Works. And she took a look at my skin and was like, yeah, you don't need that kind of stuff, and we don't do that here. So not only did I find a great product, but she cleared skin conditions that no doctor could help me with in probably 30-some years of my life. I struggled.
What made you venture into laundry soap?
Well, so many of the people that come here, like I said, have skin issues. And one of the things that causes a lot of problems for people, and they don't even realize it, is the residues left behind from their detergents. Commercial detergents, even the free and clears, they still have chemicals. They don't have dye or they don't have fragrance, but they still have chemicals that make the base. This is my soap. It's real soap that's got extra salt in it, which is softening. So it's basically your laundry softener and your cleanser, and real soap, the way it cleans, pulls everything out of the clothes. They come out so bright, so clean, and it doesn't cause any issues. There's nothing resting on your skin. A lot of times babies in their creases, it's because their body's heating up, and wherever it sweats or gets warm, the detergent left on their clothing starts to irritate their skin, and then all of a sudden they've got dermatitis or eczema. This eliminates that. So anybody who's got issues, we always, turn them to this bar to do their soap or their laundry soap.
Well, mad scientist Heidi, this looks good enough to eat. I mean, the Tiffany blue, my favorite color. I mean, really, it looks like a beautiful cake.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you said you've been obsessing about this.
I have. I have something in my mind that I need to make a bar named Bluebird, and I just want a bar named Bluebird. So as I was thinking about that, the bar sort of came to life just yesterday. So I have millet on the top, which is something bluebirds eat. I've got the leaf skeletons, and originally the idea for the bar was not a blue bar, but it just came to life once I thought of what was going on the top. I needed it to have that color bottom.
And then what is the scent, the essential oils in here?
I love it's patchouli, orange, lime, lemon, vetiver, and hoe wood. So it's got this crispy, clean citrus smell with a really deep, warm patchouli and a slight hint of just a very earthy hoe wood and vetiver. It's a really complex but simple bar.
Oh, wow. Now, what is this beautiful line?
That is raw dark cocoa. It's just a very, very, very thin layer.
What do you have coming up? I mean, what is your next obsession?
I have a few things in mind that I want to do this year. I really want to work on a spot treatment stick for acne.
Yes.
Spot treatments. I've had it in mind for a couple of years. I really want to get that in place this year before the holidays. And then every month we have something limited that launches always, because I get bored making the same thing.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.